Hey BROchacherinos and BROchacherinas, how's it going, guys? BROfist, welcome to another guide. Guide is basically a video showing you the add-ons that I'm using. I've seen that a couple of you were asking me about what add-ons I'm using, how to configure them, most of them, and I'm gonna try to explain it as short as I can. Just open up my list of add-ons and tell you which add-ons I'm using for what, which add-ons are good, which add-ons I'm satisfied with, and which are just basically sucks. So. Without further ado, let's just jump into it because I don't want to make this video too long. First of all, I'm using this add-on CPU usage for checking out how much the CPU is used by the add-ons, Usually the memory that the add-ons are taking is not the whole picture of what is blocking your FPS or what is blocking your gameplay or something. So in order to make your gameplay smooth, you want to know how much of the add-ons are, how much of your CPU is used by the add-ons. So that's why I'm using add-on CPU usage. How to use this add-on, I think it's explained on the Curse website of the add-on, so it's pretty straightforward. It's nothing really that complicated. Anyway, Angry World Quest is which quests you have where, and basically just adds another tab, here in a quest list. Which add-ons are giving you what. You can sort them up by whatever loot you're interested in if you want, or you can just uncheck that and full add-on list will be, full world quest will be shown. Ask Mr. Robot is something to just import or export actually all the gear if you want to use Ask Mr. Robot for optimizing your gear, which is really handy add-on as well if you are using that website, of course. Auto Loot Plus is really insane add-on if you're into farming. It will save up like half second on every loot that you're doing, and as you know, if you're farming a lot, you're gonna be looting quite often, so it can save you up to like 10 to 15 minutes per hour if you spend a lot of time looting. Bagnon is my add-on for bags. It's pretty convenient. I like it. You have a lot of settings that you can configure here. Like search, how you would like to use, how you like this to be looking like. Size, resize. I don't want to mess up with the settings because it's quite perfect for me. It's not blocking my anything basically for me. But if you want to mess around and experiment with the settings, you go ahead and do that. Bank Stack is an add-on that sorts up your bags. So basically, when you click on Bank Stack, where's Bank Stack? Yeah, there you go. You see, it sorts them up. It puts the soulbound and untradeable items on the top. Sorted up by legendary, and then some epic, and then some other stuff as well, the gear, and then some blue items, epic items, tradable, untradeable, and trash and stuff like that. So it basically has a pattern of sorting those stuffs. You can add ignore. As you see, I ignore this last couple of things here, last couple of bars or bag slots, so I don't mess out with all these insignias and stuff that I'm keeping for my alts, so I can send them up over. Anyway, that's basically all about that. Big debuffs is a add-on that you can use to, basically increase your debuffs on your it's useful for arenas and stuff. I use it because it helps me check out some debuffs when I play arena, and I don't want to miss out any CC or something on me or on my party, basically on my arena mates, right? So I don't want to miss when they're polymorphs and I still go offensive and die like a little bitch. So that's basically what it does for me. Big Wings is an add-on similar to like Deadly Boss modes and Exorcist tools and stuff like that. It's pretty convenient. It gives like big timers. You can mess out with the timers. You can set the what's called the fucking cooldowns of boss abilities, and what abilities now, what abilities next, how much you have a lot of settings basically. Big Wings is just an add-on that will help you a lot in raiding. If you're raiding, you probably know the add-on, so I use this over DBM because I think it's more reliable than DBM. DBM messes up for me a lot. Cross Realm Assist is similar to Server Hop. It helps you hop through servers. If you want to chase some rare, if you want to go to farm something in certain zone that you have like long respawn on, you can just use Cross Realm Assist or Server Hop. I have both enabled because sometimes some of them are, is bugged up, so I'm using one or the other, depends. Details is my add-on for showing up the damage, as you can see, and also this is part of details. I'm gonna show you now which ability I'm pressing. So Obliterate, you see Red Poke I just used to Obliterate, Howling Blast, Obliterate. You see this is part of the details add-on. And it's pretty handy for me because I don't have to explain my rotation. You know, people can actually see that directly on the stream or on the videos that I'm doing. So it's pretty handy to show your rotation. So that's details. Add-on, what we have, easy obliterate is for obliterating. I have explained in the last video about obliterum. I have explained what this add-on does. It basically just obliterates for you. You can make it like one click obliterate everything basically if you want to. I have explained that, as you can see in my previous video as well. Error filter is those errors you can you know, just delete those errors. You know, there is nothing to attack or something, and all those, also those errors that are popping up in the middle of the screen, that's error filter, is pretty easy as well. Exorcist raid tools, this is an add-on that I'm using to raid paired up with big wings. You don't have to have it, but I want to have it because when I make my own group, I want to see, you know, this raid inspect, and I have the fight log, and I have this you know, timers that I can set up when I make a raid pool. I can make the timers to be shown as a raid warning or as a raid chat or something like that. And I have also this handy bar here from Exorcist tools as well. You can pull that out as well. You know, people are asking what's those marks that you're using there. That's Mark's bar, you see. That's basically Mark's bar. You can unlock it and drag it wherever you want. Vertical, horizontal, it's up to you basically. It's pretty useful add-on, I can tell you that. What else? Farm it. Farm it is an add-on that I'm using to track certain things. Like this is the stuff. You can put whatever you want inside. You just drag something from your bags, and you can see how many of those you have. You can also include the bank. I think it was shift click. Doesn't matter, as you can see. You can use shift click to include or exclude the bank. There is some error with this. I think they haven't updated it that much, but it's useful for me, so I don't really mind. Garrison Mission Manager is basically the add-on that shows you percentages of missions. It adds some quick, some quick, you know, click like a button. It tells you 100% this mission. Click on the button, it will automatically send the certain followers and certain of those extra ads that you have in your order hole on a mission. So you don't have to calculate by yourself all those percentages and everything. So that's pretty handy for me. Gladius is add-on for that I'm using for Arena. Hadouken is a really fun add-on. You can assign any spell to it, and when you click on the on that spell, when you cast that spell, basically when you finish casting the spell, it will say Hadouken or Shoryuken or something like that. You know, people that have played or watched Mortal Kombat, they will know what I'm talking about. It's pretty handy. Aura Tracker, this is some library for some add-on. Milk scrolling combat battle text, that's the stuff that I'm using for, you know, for showing the damage and everything. As you can see, let me show you. You see this damage and how much healing and damage I'm doing and all that stuff. It's shown right there. And also when some proc comes up, like when Rhyme comes up, as you can see, it procs here and tells you, alright, you have Killing Machine up, Rhyme, it's up, you know, stuff like that. It's pretty useful for me. Some people don't like it, I like it, so it's good. It's pretty good, actually. Minimap button bag is this one. I think it goes MBB or something on Curse. Maybe Minimap button bag is also the name of it. Instead of having like millions of buttons around my minimap, I use this add-on. It you know, puts them in a bag, as they call it, so it's good. Milk scrolling battle text option. This is the options for this stuff. So it's, yeah. Mythic plus timer. It tells you how much you have left time for 3 chests, for 2 chests, for 1 chest, and what are the what are the buffs of that Mythic plus, like tyrannical, fortified, blah blah blah. I think that has in the default UI as well, but the +2 and +3 chests, they don't have it in the default UI, so I'm using this stuff instead. Nomi cakes is actually useful add-on if you are going for discovering recipes for cooking. You go on to Nomi cakes and you have that, you know, it tells you which recipe that you're missing is provided by which food. So when you queue up certain foods on Nomi, you know, in the kitchen, it tells you which, you know, cookies or which meat you want to use for certain recipe if you're chasing certain recipe. And that's really useful for me when I was chasing the recipes. Now I think I have them all, so it's good. Omnibar checks enemy cooldown. So this I haven't used for a while. I don't know why I have it still on, but it's basically when you go in arena, it shows you the enemy cooldowns or something like that, you know. So it's useful for arena if you're playing that often. It's pretty useful. Paste, however, is one of the add-ons that I'm using a lot, because I'm doing some long macros and some long strings about waypoints with TomTom, for example. And if you have, like, you can put as many characters and lines as you want here, and it will never say, okay, you have reached your maximum number of lines or something. So you can paste like infinite amount of words or rows, I think, and it will load to the game as well. Just be careful. If you're putting some really big information, might slow down your game a little bit, but for me that never happened, so I think it will never happen for you as well. Pre-made groups finder. I think this is the filter that I'm using. I'm not sure that that's the one. Pre-made groups finder. Yeah, I think that's the one. So when you go over to the, like, if you want to look, yeah, group filter it is, right? So you can select here, like, normal, for example, how many members you want to have in that group. Like if I go for raids, it'll show better. So when I enable this, I can select like only heroic groups, and I want to find only for, like, let's say for Kil'jaeden, right? So you see they have defeated 8 bosses, so you can select how many bosses they have defeated, how many members you want to have inside. Like if I put 1 tank, I want to have at least 2 heals, you know, so you don't find empty groups. If you want to find like group that is already ready to go and they're missing just a couple members left, you know, you can just select this stuff as well. But if you're looking for any group, don't forget to disable, because you'll be confused, like why the fuck there are no groups, you know. So that's really useful add-on for me, especially when I'm looking for like last kill before the reset comes or something like that. It's really useful. RC Loot Council is for raiding or for guild, basically. If you're in a guild, if they don't require you to have this add-on, then you need to have this add-on. It's basically for distributing the loot into a raid environment. Scrap is for quickly selling your crap, basically, or quickly selling your gray items from your bags. You're gonna have that gray, you know, that button that will say, you see, this is part of scrap. So this button you will not have usually. You know, you just click on that and it will sell your crap or your scrap instantly for you. Server hop is that I mentioned before. Shared media and shared media additional fonts is just a couple add-ons that I'm using for middle-scrolling combat text, to have extra fonts and extra things or extra sounds or something when I want to make some, you know, some cool fonts to running on my UI, basically. So simulation craft is add-on that just when you type /sims or SIMC, it pull out this frame that you can just copy and paste this into the simulation craft, so you can get a snapshot of your gear and talent, everything like that, and you can just simulate your character exactly as it is into simulation craft. What else we have? Stat weight score. This is after you get the result, you have like some stat weights that you can use into this add-on. You see, stat weights I have for Frost, for Unholy, for Machine Gun, basically the build that I'm running right now. You have the stat weights of your current gear, and you can just paste it here as a pawn string or something like that. And when you hover over certain gear, it will tell you, okay, this is like downgrade for Unholy, for Frost MG, for Frost is just downgrade for 2% or something like that. So it tells you whether the gear is updated as well, you know. I mean, you have the pawn add-on for this stuff, but I like to have just the raw unprogrammed or something like that, you know. Just the add-on tells me based on my own input what is the better gear. So that's why I'm using this. Stubby allows on to load automatically. It provides a handling. I don't know. This like I think it's like dependency for another add-on. TomTom is a handy add-on that shows you, you know, you can input some waypoints into your game, like coordinates and stuff, into certain zone. It will add some green dots to your map, you know, so you can go and pick up some stuffs. You know, if you have like 5 rares you need to kill, you can just type waypoints for 5 rares and it will tell you like waypoint. You see TomTom waypoint here, that's the one. Can I move it? Yeah. Alright, so TomTom waypoint, that's the waypoint from TomTom basically there. It's pretty useful, and I've mentioned that in a lot of videos. If you haven't watched so far any of those, you should be watching them anyway. Trophy GCD, it's the it's basically the detail, this part of details. You know, I have it disabled now. I don't want to enable it again, but Trophy GCD is basically, it shows you the last used ability by you, by the arena mates, by your party mates or something. If you want to make like analysis of what went wrong and you're recording your games or something, it's really useful add-on to see what abilities you have used, what abilities went off, didn't went off, or what abilities your teammates are using. So when you ask for, hey, can you heal me or can you bubble, and he says, alright, I healed you, well, you can check if he did or not, you know. Basically it's that kind of add-on that spies on your enemies and your arena mates or something like that. Anyway, Voodoo is add-on that replaces your normal raid frames with another raid frames that you can add a lot of things to them, you know, customization, different fonts, different sizes, colors, dispels, click to do stuff, you know, like click to dispel, click to do other things as well. So it's pretty useful add-on if you're a healer. I'm using only that on my priest because he's a healer, and it shows a lot of relevant information that I want to have when I'm healing someone, basically. So that's basically what this add-on does. It's pretty good add-on if you don't like, or if you dislike the normal Blizzard UI, or if you want to change to something else like Healbot or something. So Voodoo is one of those. Weak auras is all these stuff that I have on my bars, basically, right? I mean, not my bars, but what the hell? Not my bars, but on my UI. See this? It's weak aura. That's how weak aura looks like. You have all these stuffs. This is when I'm affected by inner fate. This is for my healer. I don't know why it's loaded here, but it doesn't matter. You have a lot of, like for weak auras, I cannot really explain it what all can do, because if I want to player cast, priest, talent specialization, discipline, there you go. So now I have changed it. It will not load for my DK, and you have all these stuffs, right? If you want to have any export settings from me for weak auras, if you find some weak auras that you want to have, like if I go into fight, all the cooldowns or the things that are like uptime of abilities, procs and everything I want to see, I can conveniently make a weak aura about that. You see, now I can just, you see, I can see my procs, which is Concordance of the Legion Fall and Holy Strength, so I can use my Pillar of Frost and get the big Drake going on or something like that. You see, the big Drake disappeared from here. That means it is in cooldown. Also, Pillar of Frost is lasting for 10 seconds more. I can increase the Pillar of Frost just by spamming some RP or something. I have this going on. As soon as I use it, it goes above here, so I know how much it lasts. So I know how, you know, basically it's just add-on that shows you things that you want to know, when you want to know them, and also you have some lovely notifications. Now everything is clear, but will come back soon. As you can see, Remorse of Winter is coming back, and when it comes back, it glows. That's how I set it up. It's weak auras, and you know, people that want to know these stuffs, they will take the time to learn this add-on, because trust me, guys, it's worth. I've been using before. I was using before. Tell me when, something like that. Yeah, tell me when. But I changed it because it had a lot of bugs, you know, that didn't got fixed for a while, so I kind of got annoyed by that. Who Lost It is a thing that I've installed only because of one reason. There was a pug raid that I was running, and I invited a couple guildies in my run, and they were trolling me, you know, using Bloodlust and Trash or something, because I was trying to get some better logs, and they were just trolling me or something. So I said, you know, whoever lost next time I'm gonna kick, and they thought that I was joking. So I installed this add-on. They thought that I will not be able to get you know, the information on who is lasting all the time, because I was asking, I was telling, and I was like, alright, fuck you, I'm gonna find an add-on for that. I said, alright, 5 minutes break. I installed the add-on, restarted the game, and then I kicked a couple people, even though they were guildies, you know, they were just messing up with my logs, which is not something that I'm happy about. So yeah, that's basically who lost it tells you, right? You know, you can announce who lost it in the chat as well. World Quest Group Finder is it's an add-on that I've been using a lot when I was doing World Quests. I am not really doing World Quests anymore that much, but when you go into a World Quest area, it will ask you, hey, there are other people that are doing this quest and they're looking for a group for this quest. Do you want to join them or something, or do you want to start searching for a new group or something? And you can click yes or no. If you click yes, it will find your group and it will group you up. So it's pretty useful add-on if you're going through world quests that are harder to do solo. Or, I mean, it saves a lot of time, to be honest. You know, even if it's not hard to do solo, when you have 5 people killing 15 animals instead of one guy, you know, it goes a lot faster, because 3 people, I mean, you know, if 5 people kills 3 animals, it's faster than 1 guy killing 15 animals. 5 multiplied by 3 is 15, so I don't suck that much in math, I guess. Trade skill master, one and only, the best add-on ever there for trading on auction house. I mean, trade skill master is a whole fucking science. I cannot really explain you in one sentence what trade skill master does, but if you want to dominate the auction house, if you want to manipulate prices on auction house, if you want to have quick access to you know, pick up the mailbox on a quick way, send mail to alts with a lot of things, you know, make groups. I mean, this is TSM, guys. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. You have so many things you can do with TSM. It's just insane. So lots of groups, lots of things, lots of price sources. I cannot really explain. I have a full guide on TSM. If you want to find that, you can find that on my YouTube channel. It's pretty easy to do that. Just type Trade Master Guide Umren and you'll find it. Or you can, I think I can link it in the description as well. So yeah. Anyway, those are all the add-ons that I'm using right now, and in order to set them up as I have set them up, it's pretty easy. You know, you just have to take the time of actually configuring all those add-ons. It's, you know, it's not a hard task. However, it takes like a 30-40 minutes or something to set up a good UI and sort all these things up. Well, if you want to learn the add-ons like Weak Auras or Trade Skill Master that are a bit more extensive, then you might need a bit more time. But for setting up a UI as clean as this, I mean, according to me, this UI is pretty clean. You know, maybe this bar I can move it somewhere else, so I have this arrow not covering it, but I can just set the arrow there, so it's easy peasy. You see, it's pretty clean UI, I would say. When I go into combat, nothing obstructs my way into looking the environment. The healing is away, the damage is somewhere there, the procs are being announced on a convenient way in front of me there. You also have here Obliterate when the ability is ready, like when I have Remorseless Winter ready again in like 15 seconds or something from now. It'll tell me, okay, Remorseless Winter is ready. So yeah, you can blacklist, whitelist a lot of these stuffs in milk scoring combat text. Do not have Obliterate ready now, Howling Blast ready now, because it will spam you a lot. Like, look, Obliterate ready now it's again, you know, so it'll spam every time you have like 2 runes. Obliterate is ready now will be spammed, because right now, you see, there you go. You can blacklist a lot of these things. I actually forget, you know, every time I'm thinking, okay, whenever I have time, I'm gonna set this up, but I'm constantly forgetting about it. So yeah, if you have any feedback on this stuff, guys, let me know. If you want to have an export of certain things that I have on my UI, if there is an export supported by the add-on, I will give you, like Weak Auras or milk scrolling combat text time. I think that MSBT maybe. Custom media, I don't think that there is any export. Default copy profile, reset profile, delete master, damage class. I don't think there is any export on this add-on, but if you want to have any like Weak Auras or something like that I'm using, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna make something on my forums or something like that. But that was all the those were all the add-ons that I'm currently using. I have some disabled add-ons, however, that I didn't really mention, like Bartender is for setting up your bars. Move anything, it's to move these bars or move whatever it's in the default UI if you want to move them or scale them down or something like that. So yeah, you have those stuffs, but you know, I have disabled them for a reason. That's why I haven't mentioned them. However, those are the add-ons, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any question or anything at all, just let me know down in the comments. Like the video, it helps a lot to me, it helps a lot to the channel, and it helps you of course as well, because you're having a increased chance of getting loots and legendaries, and of course to getting laid and everything. So anyway, thank you all for watching. BROchachos, see you guys in the next one, and Umren off.